everyone, and welcome to Patch Notes Season 4, Episode 6. It is May today. I mean, this month. There's several days. This month is our May.
We're in May a bit.
We are in May a bit. Yep. We are 6 days in, but you're not going to see it on the 6th, so I didn't want to say the 6th.
Maybe the 7th.
Yeah, plausible 7th or 8th.
Giving away our production time.
Well, no, you are. That's why I said it was May.
Sometimes.
Yeah. You've this
Sometimes
is what
I get it done within a day. You know.
Oh yeah, but I don't want to hold you to that, so I just said May. I gave you like 4 weeks, with just May.
This might be 7 weeks old by the time you watch this.
Probably. Well, yeah, it depends on when you watch it, And if I go back to see it like an old episode, like I saw some of our 2-year-old episodes recently.
True, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're just gonna get an influx of viewers coming in and just watching all the archives.
Yep, and you know what they're gonna be watching?
Potato Aim's TikTok is insane, so the viewership.
Yes.
Really? What's your TikTok?
It's gonna be
not insane. He's just blowing it way out of proportion.
It's like thousands of viewers.
An introduction is
way more than us.
An introduction is called for. So we are the Patch Notes podcast, and
you got it.
Last season we had a lot of guests, and we've been slower on the guest pickup this time. But today we have a very valuable guest. Potato Aim has been with the Edge VR Arcade and Gamers Lounge ecosystem for a while now. He used to play in our Valorant tournaments.
4 years, yeah,
4 years.
About that today.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I don't know if I've ever had a beer with you because I think originally you used to be
RIP to Edge's Valorant tournament.
Yeah,
right.
one rip, but two, I'm glad we can share alcohol.
Yeah, I was not 21 when I started coming here.
Yeah, that's true. How time flies. I wasn't 30 when I started coming here. That's
You're
crazy.
30?
Yeah, I am 30 now.
So,
Yeah. So anyway, the eye, of course, being Spinozone. We've got Wolf Clock over here, Vindy over here, and most importantly today, Potato Aim. Now, fun fact about Potato Aim that some people might not know from your name is that you don't actually aim like a potato. It's kind of like ironic, right? Because you're actually pretty good at the aim.
Potato.
Yeah. When did you get your username or your gamer tag?
When I started Valorant.
When you started Valorant?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bring your mic just a little bit
Closer?
to you. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
How's that right there?
Yeah, better.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect. So like when you started Valorant, you
Probably
became Potato Aim?
Yeah, it was Potato Aim.
Did you have a pre-Potato Aim gamer identity?
Ooh.
One that you can say on YouTube.
Yeah.
Honestly, no. It's just something.
Mama Slayer 69420.
Yeah, right. No, nothing crazy like that. Surprisingly, it was more of a wags kind of thing.
Oh
I just
yeah.
kinda
Of
did like
course,
a
you were Wags. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's still your Discord name,
Yeah,
right?
it's some
Yeah,
names.
yeah.
I say wags was like my previous name.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My
Potato Aim.
first one was Saliva 777 because when I got an Xbox, I liked the band Saliva.
I
was
just learned
really-
something new about you.
Yeah. I love
I've
them.
been listening to Saliva, and I'm listening to that on the way over.
Dude, I still kind of like I mean like when they come on I get nostalgic. But so yes, Potato M, you are excellent at Valorant, and that is like your main game, right? Sometimes you
much
reach
all I
out. Yeah, exactly. And you are substantially better than all of us here
combined.
Times
3.
Yep.
You versus all three of us.
Not a chance. Wouldn't happen.
It would
get
be
crushed,
tough.
is
I'd
what
put
I'm
something
trying to say.
together, maybe.
Well, your
could try
current
it.
rank is what right now?
Ooh, dropped.
Ascended 3.
Well, let's talk about peak. I like peak.
Yeah.
There we
It is
go.
good.
Now we're talking.
Yeah,
I'd say peak Immortal 1. I've gotten up to
yes.
55 RR. But,
Yeah, so Immortal 1, I believe, that's top 2%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I say
yeah.
Ascendant's like top 4 or 5%. Yeah, you get an Immortal. Immortal 3 is like top 0.5%.
Yeah.
That's
So that would be the equivalent. Yeah, that's like the equivalent of Diamond 4, Diamond 3 in League. So,
Yeah, and we are not that high.
No, not at all, actually.
Yeah, Aaron's aim might be gold level, but his utility usage is like wood 6.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's not even on. It's not even on the.
No,
league.
he-
it's not even on the.
Counter-Strike.
league.
When he plays Chamber, he just buys a ghost, and I tell
I
him
know.
you've got it.
He told us that from the get-go. Chamber Ghost all the time. He
and
stand by
I
it.
talked these 14-year-olds, and then what did I do? I
Stand
went and
by
actually
it.
beat all of them in
Yeah,
like 2
but
rounds in a row. It was awesome.
You could have done it in 3 rounds in a row with his actual pistol.
With his pistol. I was gonna say.
Yeah. In any case,
it's fun.
we have a lot of exciting Valorant news going on. We do have, yes. They're inside of the game and inside of the esports world. But before we get to all that, I do want to do our obligatory "What have we been playing?" question, because we have played. Aaron, you were not in on this, but. Wolfclock and I had a wonderful experience with Arc Raiders. Yes,
Yeah.
which did you guys?
Heard of this?
No, I have not.
Did you?
I actually read up on the game a little bit.
Yeah.
And went on the Arc subreddit. And I'm convinced to install it.
Good.
Yeah.
Free to play?
No,
it was a
40.
Yeah, it was a play test for until that lasted. What was it? The 29th through the 4th.
It was the weekend.
Yeah, it was the long weekend. So we got to play it. I played maybe 2 more games after you left. I tried using that sniper that the one camper dropped, but it was only against bots. I didn't get to find. We did a night raid and I couldn't find anybody. But so the shtick of Arc Raiders is that it is an extraction shooter, like a Tarkov, but the polish on this game is exceptional.
Yes. Embark Studio is just out of their mind when it comes to audio. AI.
That's why I want to get into the game. Every single comment I read that was like the #1 comment had something to do with audio in it.
It's the best audio in a shooter, I think.
Yeah,
Period.
sound design was absolutely exceptional. And part of what's so great about it is, so all of the AI are machines. It's all AI. There are these drones that go drones of varying difficulty. Some
sizes.
Yeah, different sizes. Some are just like balls that roll around and then flamethrower you if you don't shoot them in time. Some of them are like
only third person.
Yes.
Yes, it is only third person.
No.
It felt
right.
It was
It's
smooth.
right.
It was really smooth. I liked it. Some of the big bad AIs, right? They're not all over the place, but when they show up, it is tense AF.
Have you guys ever
Is it coming to
played?
PlayStation 5?
Yeah. Yeah,
Alright,
it'll
cool.
be PS5, Xbox Series X, PC.
That's what we're going to do in the basement.
Arc Raider, absolutely. I would love that.
That'll be our game.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's actually really
okay.
fitting the theme because
you
Arc
guys-
Raiders has an undercity, so the
Yes,
city is
exactly.
beneath.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing.
Esperanza.
It's like robots have taken over the world and have forced humans underground.
Wow, Warhammer 15K.
Okay.
Very, very good.
Have either of you guys played Last of Us?
I played like 10 minutes of
Uncharted, maybe?
I
played Uncharted.
Okay.
Yeah, I say I'm
Think
playing
of the extraction version of Uncharted. Slower than Uncharted, more like Last of Us, right?
I noticed
It
that the
has
gameplay did look slow. Like even running in the game doesn't
Yep.
seem that fast.
Yep. The cool thing is part of your skill tree is increasing your mobility. And so veteran players, I'm assuming, are going to start to get quick.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Because as you start to level up, if you choose mobility.
When your character dies, though, do you lose all those skill points?
No.
Not the skill
that's
points.
for
You
The
lose your
skill
gear.
points are
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
yourself.
Yep,
So
yep,
that's your
exactly.
progression, is your skill points. And
So it's
the
I know
ability.
there's no pay to win aspect of that.
There's no pay to win. In fact, even cosmetics can be unlocked through the currency that you earn through the game. Now,
At the very least for us, because we did the test.
They're
So
gonna-
when it comes out, maybe not. Yeah.
maybe. Yeah,
I mean, for
right.
$40 though, they better give you a lot.
I mean, have you played Helldivers?
Yep, only
It's-
a little bit.
It
maybe
seems
an
like
hour's
they're really just piggybacking off of Helldivers' monetary system,
worth.
where
I
they'll
don't-
have
I'm not familiar with
it's their battle pass allowed like gadgets to be unlocked, so technically it was paid to win, but you had to still grind the battle pass to unlock the stuff in the
but yeah,
battle
okay,
pass.
I get that.
So it's like you're paying for access to things, but you still have to earn it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And in this game, you also
point,
get
it wasn't obvious that those things that we unlocked were better. Like there were some there were like some
Yes,
version of
right.
mines.
Maybe because it's
it
in
gives
a
you
play test.
option.
but
No, but that's the whole idea of these extraction shooters. I think for like if you're comparing Helldivers and Arc Raiders, it's that you're getting access to new ways to play the game, not
Yeah.
necessarily better ways.
Exactly. Like I'm sure there is a play style that is unlocked by those devices that were behind the battle pass, but there was nothing that I felt that I was hindered by. Like maybe if I wanted to be extra campy, I could have used that. Even then, like I don't know if it would be like super prominent. Like part of it's probably it was a play test, but like it didn't feel as punishing as in Tarkov when I lost my stuff.
They
if I-
have really good.
yeah,
Losing your stuff in Tarkov.
it
They
seriously
have really
is.
good
worst.
fallback mechanics, right? So like if you are devastated by, you had all your best gear and you just, let's just say another squad rolled up on you and there was no chance of you getting into position to defend yourself, right? It was just bad luck.
Or if you're nice guy Wolfclock and you round up to we can work together, and then the guy starts shooting you immediately and tells his friend to start shooting him. I was there to watch that. I punished him because they saw him but didn't see me, so I got to shoot him in the back, which was fun. But
And they did end up getting away. But
What is time to kill in the game, by the way?
time to kill. So you have shields, but let me roll back to your fallback system. So within, I would say, the first 3 hours of the game, I had unlocked 7 out of the 8, maybe it was 6 out of the 7 workbenches that you have back at your home base. And so your home base is your safety or whatever. It's just menus that's not even interactable other than that. So you're not like in character or anything. You get a UI, right? But you can craft things. And so as you are scavenging, you're bringing back all of these materials, you're bringing back all of these components, and these components you can recycle into materials if you want, or just sell them for currency. Currency you can use to just buy random things that pop up in the shop, right? Because you're in a scavenged nation, so every time you come back to the city, there are random things that you can buy from the merchants, right? They don't have like wholesaler or anything like that. So there's just random things you can buy every time you come back, and you're going to build up currency by the things that you're scavenging. But then you can also, as you level up your workbenches, start crafting like
Things that you just want.
rare type gear and things like that. So when you die, you no longer, maybe you lose a legendary, but you can fall back on a full set of rare if you have enough resources in your stash.
Got you.
And it was really not hard to get that many resources. Also, everyone has a pet rooster / chicken.
Which you can level up.
Yeah, you can level it up. You give it a dog collar and like some blankets. And I don't know if the blankets are for a cape or like
I hope it's a cape.
Yeah, it was quirky. But like the idea is like you spend enough time. Look up Scrappy. Its name is Scrappy if you're looking it up. But it'll just get materials while you're in a game or while you're away.
Yep.
And those materials are really easily made into weapons. So like I've had my Tarkov periods. This was way more forgiving than Tarkov was.
way more.
When I'm broken Tarkov, I feel
Tarkov's whole thing though
Exactly.
is misery. But play the game.
But get screwed when we offer things that we said were specific.
Oh, I forgot about
one-offs.
that whole
Oh my
debacle.
God,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was.
These guys should not have a legacy like that at all.
Oh no. Yeah, it was very, very approachable. Also, the city, like Speranza, the underground city, very alive. Like the music's great when you drop in, but like in Tarkov, it's just like you don't really have. Tarkov is like the whole area, but like when you talk to your merchants, they're just individual pictures, and they like give you some conversations. But these
Feels like
these.
a RPG.
Yeah. These merchants are fully animated. They talk.
They give you quests.
They give you quests in a Tarkov way, but like imagine like the Tarkov merchant, instead of staying small, it like takes up the entire left side of your screen, fully animated. None of it was like cringe either. They all seemed like really thoroughgoing.
And it's a 3-person.
3 squad.
Yep, 3-person squads. Yep, and it was fun. So there were some really tense extractions I got to.
Yes.
Like I did a one person because I was watching Valorant Grand Finals, and it's a best of 5, and so there are times between maps that are going to take a little bit. I just loaded one up really quick, and I tried to like get in, get out really fast. It was on a map where most of the extractions are in these like elevator bunkers. So you like hit the button, you call the elevator, you have to wait a little while, watch the perimeter fend
And
off
things
bots.
are screeching, and because audio is so like prevalent in the game, like you attract bots, you attract other players, like the entire area knows you're trying to extract from the sounds alone, not even the visuals.
Yeah, which
it is awesome.
Yeah, which is cool. Tarkov is not like that. Tarkov is supposed to be like, punishing, right? But you can extract. It's still tense when you extract, but like because there are people who are camping your stuff. But like if I am in an extraction zone or like point in Tarkov, nobody knows, and I just like hold my breath and then I get out. In this one, like you press the button, it is like a blaring alarm. Everybody knows you are
Longest
about to.
8 seconds of your life.
Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. And those do make for some absolutely incredible moments and like overwhelming relief. But like it was really cool when there would be like fights, or there was a time when I think it was Kivian and I were like fighting over an extraction point, and we had the low ground and we had to like wait a little bit, and we were either going to go like 2/3 of the map to the other extraction point or just hope that these guys were distracted and didn't have the jump on us, and like we fought for the spot, and then they like weren't
and
there.
that's a cool thing about the AIs being like actually difficult too, is you don't want to have a PvP fight. You can attract the bots to be a distraction, right? So you could bring them into an area so that the other team has to deal with them as well as you, and maybe you've leveled the playing field, or you've used it as a distraction to get away. So there's just like so many interactions that you have with these bots that just make it really fun.
Did I send you guys that Reddit link of that tentacle bot that flew up?
Oh yeah, dude,
that was actually crazy. I thought that was a cutscene the first time I saw it.
no, like it is kind of nuts how intense like the real heavies are.
So you understand like how
the simple drones are like pretty easy to break, but they will alert big ones in the area.
Exactly.
And if one of those if one of those gets your attention,
Oh, this is it?
yeah,
Oh, this
like look at
looks
that thing,
sweet.
Dude, it's so good.
dude. It's
my
so
God.
yeah, and dude, the
That's because they
sound.
made noise or what? Or they just...
He shot at it. He shot at it.
Somebody snipered it.
Yeah,
and that was
and
a bad.
there might have been like a recon drone too. Yeah. Yep.
How fast it can close on
Is
you,
the map,
too.
is that all playable? All that background,
all that's playable. All that's
Oh,
playable.
that's nice.
It looks great.
nice.
Sounds incredible. The feeling of threat
Sure.
and tense is real. Oh yeah, so there's the one kind of like elevator bunker that you have to unlock and then hold out on. But there's another. There's this one map where the extraction is like a subway. So you go down, you hit the subway, and then there are two sides. There's like the side you're on, and then maybe people are coming in from the other ones once you hit the subway, and then like the alarms are wailing, and then finally it shows up. This one guy and I apparently hit from opposite sides this button at around the same time, so we both get in the subway, and neither of us knows that there's another person right away. I just happen to I don't know if I'm like looking at my other monitor to check my Valorant, and so move my mouse, but like I turn and see him on the other console, like trying to extract at the same time that I am. So I notice him first, so I just switch to my shotgun and like destroy him while he's trying to escape. And it was kind of lit. I mean, if he noticed me first, I would have been done, and it just didn't happen to go that way. But I know he wasn't an AI.
Are mics open in the game?
They are.
Yeah.
So, well,
Nice.
it's push to talk
Yeah.
by default,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
proximity
I'm
chat
saying
is
proximity
on.
chat. Okay.
And
So generally, when I come up on somebody, like we see each other
It's
at
not-
the same time, I'm usually being like, hey, what's going on?
From my
We're
experience,
friendly,
it's
we're
not
friendly.
generally.
And then
it's
if they throw
every
a fire,
time.
then
Yeah, even when we have the jump in, it is perfect. Wolfclock is the nicest extraction shooter player I've ever encountered. Like my first impulse is not conscientious. I'm like, I finally have a chance in an extraction shooter to win. Like I'm just gonna. But like Forrest is already saying like, hey, we can be friendly. Let's work together. And it was kind of fun.
it worked
Have you
a
seen
couple
anyone do
times.
like a Tarkov wiggle at you?
We did because those guys started
Like the
dancing.
bots?
They did
It
start
wasn't a
dancing.
wiggle.
They
They
tell
just
between, like, the
did
bots
There was like a.
we were vibing with them too.
Yeah, it
no
was-
one shot at each other. We went on our way.
Yeah,
so
yeah, and that was the same one where then there were these two campers. You noticed one of them said
Yeah,
hi.
yeah.
Both of them started shooting at him. But I was further behind, noticed the guy up top, and then took him out.
Yep.
That was great loot.
It was. Because they had some legendaries.
Yeah, they had a killer sniper rifle. So yeah, all told, I'm really excited for Arc
Me
Raiders.
too. I'm so excited.
At first I was
I
skeptical.
still remember the magic of PUBG when that first came out.
Oh, that game
It
was
was
so
the
good.
first time I was like, wow.
Right.
What an experience. I put League of Legends on hold for like half a year.
Oh wow, crazy.
Yeah, when
That is
PUBG
crazy.
came
It
out.
Takes a lot.
It does.
Well, it's like my whole league team was only playing PUBG, so it was like it really got me. And I wasn't as much of a solo gamer as I am now with
Yeah.
that. But Yeah, and it's like I have thought to myself, like, man, it would be nice to revisit something like that again, like a squad-based shooter and running around. So when you were getting really hypey about it, but then when I saw like Marathon, I'm like, dude, there's no way I could ever play this game.
Yeah.
Because like it just looks so bad to me.
And
I know you're gonna be excited about it,
Marathon
but-
is in trouble though, because I did not expect this game to be so good.
Oh, Arc to be so good.
Yeah.
But it's third person.
really
First
is.
person and third person are
Yeah, that's
almost.
true, but
they're
once you
so-
play Arc Raiders, the third person makes sense.
Yeah,
it's
it totally
part
does.
I'm
of the
fine with
design,
third person.
yeah.
I think third person is great for games like this.
Yes.
But it's like such a divider inside its own genre.
Well,
of
it is going to be a
shooters.
different pace, right? So Marathon is going to be an extraction shooter where you're running the whole time. This game punishes you for running. Arc Raiders does, because you do not have the stamina to be moving around.
First
like
skill
that.
points I put in were all stamina.
Yeah.
Like they're like mobility ones where I can hop higher. There's like save time and looting. I just went
Like
all
I
stamina.
said, Arc Raiders plays like Last of Us. Marathon's going to play like Apex.
Okay. Yeah, that's
know?
true. That's true. Okay, cool.
So
Yeah. A real fast news. Apex had a grand final recently. I don't know if the name Imperial Hall means anything to any of us. He's like the big name in Apex.
Did they win it?
They did. Yeah, they made a super team, and like the last big event, they placed pretty badly.
so
And,
they will.
yeah, a lot of his like old teammates were like clowning on him, like going to socials and saying like some super team and all that. But yeah, they took home everything.
wow.
There was some. I didn't get to look too deep into that, but there were some Redditors saying that the like general experience was kind of crap from Face It. Like the Face It ESL
Oh,
group
right.
was
Yeah,
organizing
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing, and they're like wasn't a physical trophy, and just some other things.
did
Yeah,
they get an NFT for a prize?
I would not be surprised. They might not even. They might have gotten like a picture of what an NFT would have looked like. But so I know there was some stuff about ESL Face It ESL, but I didn't look up too much into
Like
it.
CS:GO, Face It kind of thing. Face It.
Yeah, like the Face It. I know they do a lot of. They're involved with Overwatch Esports now. They're like in part owned by
know
like
that.
the Saudi Public Investment Fund. So there's
Yes, our good friends, the Saudis.
yeah, yeah. Between this Valorant event and the next stage Valorant, there is a, or maybe it's after. Valorant is now part of the Esports World Cup
Cup,
in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. That's I didn't even. That's happening again this year, right?
Yep.
Because that's just
Is
going to be
that
an every
June
year
time?
thing.
Yeah, until their reputation is sterling across the world, they are going to continue to watch as much as they can.
right.
So, yeah, and I'll be there for. I mean, not necessarily. I'm not going
going
to
to
take a
Saudi?
stance. No, probably not. Probably not. Although with all the stuff happening in like U.S. aviation, with like Newark Airport and all that, I mean, rates are probably really good right now.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, and who's flying to Saudi Arabia anyway? Right?
Not many.
Yeah,
Just dudes.
just dudes. Yeah, the women are flying out. But in any case, yes. We got big Valorant event news. Do you want to hit the game in general, like the state of the game, and then like some of the?
I love that he doesn't even ask you what you've been playing because he just knows.
We
just-
touched
We
it
talked about it a
bit.
little before.
It's just
Yeah.
Valorant.
It's Val.
Well, how have you
Marvel
before-
Rivals too.
Yeah, a little bit of
Okay,
Marvel Rivals, which hilarious. So you didn't hear about this. Some of my best Schadenfreude in years was like hearing about the support strike in Marvel Rivals. So.
Overwatch fans.
Yeah, so like Overwatch, long-term watchers will know I used to be a total Overwatch head. I got into esports because I loved Overwatch, and this is a jersey I bought in Atlanta for the Atlanta Overwatch League team.
I see.
It was awesome. Before I watched it a couple times, which was this very stupid idea. I had a whole bunch of signatures on this thing. It's really sad. I thought
You watched them all?
yeah, I thought the permanent
had
mark.
signatures
Yeah, I thought
on it?
permanent marker was more permanent than it was, and it was really cool. It was really awesome. But I had this like awful coffee stain on it because like I drink a lot of
You
coffee.
Wear a jersey with signatures on it.
Well, yeah, it was my only one. It was my only one. So I learned a lot of lessons. It would be really cool if I
He's
showed
a
up and there were
stronger,
ink.
better person.
Ideally, right, in my coping moments. But in any case, I saw this news that Marvel Rivals was having the support strike. The shtick of this is that, as we Overwatch folks know, sometimes in a hero shooter, when you have a backline,
Yep.
the best thing to do if you are a damage dealer is to just skip all the BS and you dive the backline.
Let's go.
Backline is squishy. They do less damage, have fewer opportunities to get away. So it just makes sense to dive the backline and get your kills that way, and then the other team falls apart because they don't have healers. That the very first meta in Overwatch, before all of the GOAT stuff, before Super Tanks, was dive meta. Even in their closed beta, when they didn't even have like a 1 hero limit, it was dive the backline, have like 2 Winstons, 2 Tracers, 2 Lucios, and the Winstons and the Tracers always dive the Lucios and kill support first. So Overwatch players have known about what a dive meta is forever, and they know that you peel for your backline. Peeling is if your backline's getting like dove on, you run to them, you spend your abilities, you defend your backline. Marvel Rivals players missed the memo, and there are a whole bunch of support players who have started striking. They refuse to support
Do they still play support?
A lot of them aren't, so queue times are going higher. Okay. But like one of the rallying cries is no peels, no heals. So, yeah, it is fun. Recently, there have been some light nerfs announced to characters like Spider-Man, who's one of the diviest. Yeah, it really doesn't. But
is Venom getting touched?
I have no idea. I didn't really look at it.
Character's awesome.
But he's not really. He's a tank, right? He's not really like a dive DPS figure.
Really?
Well, he's a dive.
Oh, he is. Oh, he is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then maybe it is.
That's why I thought he was so strong.
Okay, because he could
He
use.
is more of a
Definitely
tank for sure, but it's just like
the lowest health tank, but he's basically like a bigger Spider-Man.
Okay, okay.
He
Then
could
maybe
dive.
his effective
like
health.
Spider-Man.
I think was the highest in the game.
I see, because of his like
'Cause it's
additional.
like all of a sudden you.
Yeah, if you use his ults, you could get like thousands of HP with the
Yeah,
shields.
Really?
goofy
Yeah.
levels of tank, but he's only effective health. He doesn't have very high base health.
No.
Right. You have to play him and time it.
Okay, so I didn't see if he's getting a nerf. I did see that Spider-Man was getting a nerf, and like a little bit of the, like some of the YouTubers I was seeing were just saying like Spider-Man was one of the like biggest offenders for diving in the back,
It's a
doing
very
an uppercut.
fast character. I'd say that
Yeah.
uppercut,
Yeah.
it's like just like that, and he's gone already. You
Yeah.
don't even get
Yeah.
to do a shot on him. Yeah,
Yep.
he's out.
And for like a lot of these teams and players who don't understand what peeling is or don't understand what a dive meta is,
Yeah.
they're like complaining about not getting heals, and they don't realize that the reason they didn't get healed is the other Spider-Man was already in their back line, and you can't heal if you're dead.
Right.
So, and the Marvel, to their credit, the Marvel Rivals devs put out a statement saying, like, this is part of the growing pains of the game. If you are a tank or a DPS and your healer, your strategists are getting dove, part of your job is to peel for them.
Yeah, but that job is not fun. So
Not at all.
Yeah, and so there's
just give me goats
Yes.
or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
So that is
I don't want to only forward. I don't wanna
my joy in seeing the Marvel Rivals community in this uproar led me to play some Overwatch these last couple of weeks, and
Game's still better.
I had a good time. I had
Marvel
a really
Rivals
good
still
time.
better in
Have you
Overwatch.
heard of the stadium mode?
No.
The stadium mode up to
No,
best
no.
of 7 rounds. You like buy a kit. I played one of them. It was pretty good. I played as Zarya. I really enjoyed it. We ended up losing 3-4, but it was valuable. I enjoyed my time there. These perks are really cool. So I will say that Overwatch is not that bad.
I want to reiterate with these hero shooters, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals. What's the
Concord. R.I.P.
and what's the Steam one?
Oh
Apex Legends?
no, Deadlock.
Deadlock.
Deadlock. Yeah.
My
That's
heart.
more of
Deadlock.
a mobile than a team battler.
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
is.
That's fair.
Yeah.
My thing with those two, and I just wonder how many people would actually agree with me. I don't know what the percentage would be of people who aren't playing because of this reason. It's like when I play the game, I feel like my character has so much like agency, but it's fake. And it's kind of like what you were saying, like, where are my heals? Well, it's like, oh, my whole backline's dead. But the reality is, like, when I'm just queuing up for the game by myself, I can't see what my own team is really doing, it feels like. And it's really hard. Like, so many times I'll be so deep. And I'm like, oh, I'm way out of position. And I struggle with that in Overwatch and this game. I feel like I don't have a good grasp on where my front line is and where my back line is.
Yeah, that's
It
part of
feels
the art.
Really, really, really
part of the
hard.
art.
I know it's part of the skill. It's part of the skill to understand that, but I'm just like, it doesn't click with me. And I really liked Overwatch when it came out. I thought it was the most fun game that I wanted to play before I went to bed after playing League. I just wanted like a fun, quick game of Overwatch, because it was just so much fun. But when I started playing a lot of, who's my favorite character in Overwatch? Roadhog. I started playing a lot of Roadhog, and then I realized like the positioning of where like I needed to be, it was just like it didn't click. It wasn't intuitive. It wasn't intuitive to me. And then I did the same thing with Marvel Rivals. I fell in love with Venom. Best character design. One of the best character designs I've ever seen in any game, period. Like, including all the amazing character designs inside of the League. Like, Venom, I was like, holy crap. I cannot believe I just played this character one time, and I was like, this is one of the best kits I've ever seen in any video game ever. But I can't play the game anymore because, like, I don't have any sort of intuition on where I'm supposed to be inside these fights. And it literally does not click with me in the slightest.
Did you ever queue up for a support role?
I played.
Do that in Marvel.
Oh, you don't? You just
It's open queue.
Oh, okay,
Right? So
okay.
there's no role.
Even
Did you
Rams
ever
is like that?
and I
pick a
played-
support role?
I played a couple of the supports too, but not enough. I mean, I think I played like 60 straight games of Venom though.
The biggest thing for getting that intuition is you play the roles that are essential for your preferred role survival. So like I suck at DPS, but like when I play DPS, I understand that sometimes if I am like was a tank and I'm complaining about just shoot the Pharah, like just because that's what you're supposed to do doesn't mean that if you're a DPS, you're in situations where you're like able to do that, right? And like when I'm a tank complaining about heals, and then I queue up for support, and I'm noticing that my tank is just like running forward or just like blindly saying it's an objective-based game, get on the fucking objective, but they're not like aware of choke points, right? And they don't know that like you have enough health to just Reinhardt charge all the way to that like moving payload, but the rest of us who are like only 200 HP are still stuck in this doorway, and we're gonna get headshot if we go out and you're not there. So like part of it is just you play as the other characters, and then you have a better idea of what that's like.
That definitely could be. I don't know. I
see that.
I have a tougher time with it than I do with like even first-person shooters, like even Valorant, CS:GO. I have a better idea of like where my team is, when I can push, and those are with like I've never been smoking positions has never been intuitive to me either, but it's been a lot easier to understand as opposed to like where I need to be playing like Venom or Hulk or whatever. So, anyways.
I think it also has a lot to do with the way the modes are designed, right? Because Marvel Rivals just straight up stole Overwatch's. And Overwatch.
It was theft. And that's fine, creative theft, but
the issue with Overwatch and kind of like I was a big Battlefield player like for a long time. One of my favorite modes in Battlefield is called Rush. Where
That's what everyone loved with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So good.
Like why not have a mode like Rush in Marvel Rivals? You know what I mean? Battlefield had a very support or role based. I mean, it wasn't as severe as Overwatch or Marvel Rivals, but it was still a role based squad that you wanted to build. Like you still wanted heals on your squad. You still wanted somebody that could supply everyone with ammo.
Yeah, you still wanted recon.
I just think those things were way less.
But
pronounced.
I feel like that.
warping
But that
than it
game
is.
mode in particular, where you have to control 2 points, right? And you could choose to put the whole team on 1 point if you wanted to as a team, or you could actually split up and split your offense into both at the same time, and maybe one is distracting enough or winning enough, where the other one can sneak in a bomb.
Maybe 10 players on each team.
Not necessarily 10 players on each team, because it would still work with the 6v6 if you have an assault, a strategist, and a tank, and then you have 2 squads.
So you almost have to have Q-Lock then.
Not necessarily Q-Lock, because
you can't copy all the ideas from Overwatch.
I think you could.
They're never bringing
I think
Q.
you could
Yeah,
naturally
Q-Lock
still
never.
generate the roles with having. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is having 2 points
Yeah.
that you have to capture,
Okay.
rather than you having to escort this thing along.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the
Escort
whole
is an
time.
interesting thing to do every now and then, but it's
Yeah.
like to
Every
have-
single map.
If I were
is
more
an
attractive,
escort,
I could
isn't
make a
it?
lot of
It's only
money.
escort or domination.
Escorting.
Right.
Or like capture the point thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And just mixing in more modes, I think could actually kind of take the pressure off of support, right? Because then you as a team can choose where you're allocating your support. Hey, if support isn't working over here, let's go attack the other bomb, or the other site.
Yeah.
And get around where
I
we're
almost kind
there.
of feel like
Because it doesn't seem like there's a way for you to kind of adjust your strategy after the other team has a point locked down in Marvel Rivals
Yeah.
or Overwatch. You know what I mean?
Gotta switch
Because
characters.
because it's so narrow of a map, right?
yeah. I
And-
guess there isn't a lot of
And I like the idea of being able to just flank those positions then instead to try to reorient yourself. There was a game that did that pretty well. It was Ubisoft's game.
Oh yeah,
We were
X
playing
Defiant.
that
X Defiance escort mode actually did do that
rest
we
in
had fun
peace.
doing that. We
Yeah.
did have fun
Yeah, that
doing
game
that.
shut down.
Yeah, that
Yeah, we
game
played it.
shut
We played
down.
it pretty hardcore for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like in there.
I thought their
I
map
bought
designs were
stuff.
really good for that because you could,
Yeah.
if you were
Wide
losing a
map.
Yeah,
lane,
you were right.
you could choose another lane to
remember
get to
that-
the objective.
That outside one where the final
Oh,
base was up the stairs,
Yeah, yeah.
and that had multiple side routes where you
Yes.
could really go deep.
where the whole team could.
Yeah, the whole team.
Marvel
could go over
Rivals
there.
has these, but it's like limited to certain roles
Classes
or
that can
classes
get
or
up there.
characters.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. It's actually it's a further topic about like supports in gaming in general and their
Yeah.
and individual agency.
That sounds like a topic.
You know what I mean? Like, because like League has had this problem for a long time.
Yeah.
And we have all these different like phenoms of supports. You know, you have your Leonas and Broms, which are just like giga disruptor lockdown CC tanks. But then you have champions like Pike. It's like that's a support. That character just kills me.
You don't have to explain it.
You never played against Pike?
No.
Have you? Oh, you.
I
you
just
haven't
know
either.
TFT Pike,
Oh.
where he's supposed to be a tank, but
Pike. Oh, I actually do want to talk about Pike for a minute then because it's very interesting. Okay, and I'm curious if any of these hero shooters will ever bring a character like this in. So Pike is a support in League of Legends that only does damage.
Weird.
Yep. His ultimate executes all enemies.
Oh.
This is a support.
at like what 12% or lower? Or
I
what?
think it's like 10%.
Okay.
Yep. His ultimate executes all enemies. His W lets him go invisible.
Oh.
Support. His E is a dash, and he can like go over terrain with it, and then it's like a ghost, like a watery ghost, and then like 2 seconds later, it follows him and stuns people. Only like support. Well, there's another ability that's kind of like support, and then his Q is a Thresh hook. You guys know Thresh at least, right? He throws his hook.
He's Roadhog.
Okay, yeah, Roadhog, right? Pike can move while he's winding up his animation. So he goes like this and then throws. But you can sit there and kind of hold it. Most hook champions in the game do not operate like that. It's a one type ability. So this champion does serious damage. And then here we go. Here's the like creme de la creme. All HP, ability power, armor, magic resist converts to AD.
Really?
Oh,
You
snap.
can't make him tankier.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's like Jhin. He can't gain attack speed. Pike cannot gain health. So he is super squishy.
Yeah.
Is that why he's a support? Because he's squishy?
He's just a
Or-
glass cannon, is what it is.
He's a glass cannon. The support nature from him is he has a hook ability. It doesn't do a lot of damage. His E stun ability also doesn't do a lot of damage, and his stealth ability does 0 damage. His ultimate ability will finish off kills from your AD carry.
Okay.
And I forgot the craziest part about him. If he kills someone, you get all the gold,
Oh.
and he gets all the gold.
Oh, weird.
He funnels double the amount of gold.
Oh, crazy.
Yep.
So he just scales the game.
Yeah. He warps games like crazy. So he gives you he gives you it's called your cut. He's a pirate, so he gives you your cut.
Nice.
Yeah. One of the few like rated R type characters in the game too, like really nasty dude.
Like he cusses and stuff.
A little bit, but just like murderer. He's a murderer. I mean, he's an actual
Unlike most league champions who just want the other
he's an
people to
assassin.
survive.
He's just like you'll never see like a cute skin line come out for Pike.
Right.
I get you.
Like he is an actual murderer.
He's an assassin.
Yeah. But he's a support, and he works super well as a support. Actually, not even like no one's really like upset at this champion. Good Pike players are annoying as all get out.
Right.
Zombro has a lot of Pike
I
games.
can see
like
that.
top 3.
I can see
top
that.
3 because he's a support. He likes supports in video games.
Yeah.
But Pike is like
We can have him on to talk
I know,
about
we
it for
need-
the support.
We need to have him.
There's a support
I know.
conversation.
I'm like totally going into it, but I think support agency is really really interesting because support queue times are always the longest
Huge,
in every game.
Any game.
I mean,
Who's the chick that shoots people in Overwatch to heal them? The older
Ana.
lady.
Oh,
Ana.
yeah.
That is a great character design. You snipe
Yeah.
your own enemies. That is genius.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you have
Luna
agency.
Snow is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, where
I
she
say you
she
hit
does
the same
DPS,
thing.
Yep.
Both
And she
in the
can
same
shoot
thing. I
her-
would say both
her
with
allies.
the trigger button.
That's why I do think like support characters are kind of just. I mean, there's a lot of people that are playing Marvel Rivals that never played Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
So they're just figuring it out, and like you said, the
That's
developers said,
crazy to me.
Yeah.
You think there's a lot
there's
of
growing-
people
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, yeah, they're
that have
young.
never played Overwatch?
They're
Absolutely.
young.
Not-
They came of
not
age.
to mention
just
the
say-
IP alone.
Yeah,
brings in players.
between
How old is
IP and
Overwatch?
age, it's 2016 is when it came out.
It's 10
Wow,
years.
It's almost 10 years
Almost
old.
10
Yep,
years old.
Yep.
Wow, I feel old.
Yeah.
And they didn't go free to play until the end of Overwatch
Yeah,
1,
yep,
right?
yep.
So, you know,
Oh,
their
I forgot that. Was
their player base.
Yeah, I bought the game.
Yeah, I say I did too.
It's
The
just a
first
different
one.
demographic, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of Overwatch players came over to Marvel Rivals because they're so frustrated with Overwatch and Blizzard,
That was-
right?
Yeah.
That was, yeah, me.
But most people playing Marvel Rivals are like, oh, finally, I have a team shooter I want to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess
Because that's where
Marvel
my
IP
boat is in.
Yeah. And now some are going back to Overwatch.
Some are, right. And that's a good opportunity for Blizzard to actually get their crap together.
Yep.
But at the same time,
won't.
it is.
They've done some
They
stuff.
won't.
Like
It's growing
I was a very
pains.
skeptic.
It really is.
The hero bans in Overwatch are a thing now, and it is kind of cool. There are a bunch of Mercy players who are getting memed on because there are a whole bunch of people who just like, even though they like most bans are like the character you don't want to play against
That's
or whatever.
because Overwatch has so many characters, they can do that now, though, right?
Banning
Yeah.
is the healthiest thing you can do for your
But
game.
you need a
though.
huge roster to
I
be able
know.
to pull it off.
That's why it's such a. I actually think it's like just a bad idea to release only like. See what they. This is what happens. The game designers are like, we have 100 Marvel characters we could put in this
Yes,
game.
yeah.
exactly.
And the marketing and business team are like, but we can't make any money if we release them all at once.
Right.
Yeah.
They're doing like one a month, they said.
But for
One a
competitive,
month is not bad.
Yeah.
It's not.
Honestly.
It'll be a
It is.
disaster
It's
for
really
for balancing.
Yeah.
If you're putting one
my
in
God.
month,
But that's
One
why-
just came out, and then Ultron's already coming out in like a week or two.
Yeah.
That's nice.
But see, if you add bans in, the community gets to regulate itself.
Right.
Yep. No bans, no regulations.
Because if a character's getting overbanned, then the developers know this guy needs to get adjusted.
And it gives them
Do we
time
have a
without.
Cassidon situation on our hands. 2 years, 95% ban rate.
Yeah, no, that it is important. You do need enough so that like you're not banning the only character who can do such and such a thing.
Yeah.
Right. Like if there were. When Overwatch had a small roster, if you're banning Lucio and you just can't do speed anymore, that like really limits stuff. Or if you banned Mercy when there were players who were only doing well and enjoying themselves when they were able to play Mercy, it would be really tough. Now there's a wider roster, you can do that stuff. But it also means that the solution doesn't have to be finding out the right mechanisms to nerf/buff. Right? You get time where the ban is doing the work. The ban offers the regulation, and it gives the devs time to think, what levers are we actually moving here?
Right.
So that then it gives enough time, as opposed to just no bans. We have to push out a patch fast, and suddenly this character sucks, but this other character who is like a sleeper, who is like really good, but not as good as this one. But like now that character A is nerfed, character B, who is like next in line, suddenly comes to the top. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of patches, I heard that Valorant's getting a new patch.
Valorant is getting a new patch.
Hey.
Yes. So how has as somebody who hasn't been playing who's been watching more Valorant than playing Valorant?
Welcome to every 30-year-old.
Yeah. How has Teo been in your games?
Overpowered.
Overpowered.
Yeah, that's probably my most picked character is Teo.
And
Are
yeah.
you generally an initiator even before Teo came out? Okay.
Sova was probably my
Oh,
highest
yeah,
picked.
yeah, that's right,
I'd say
yeah.
And
Sova.
And part of what Teo does is he totally changes the meta into a retake meta,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And you want to stall as long as you can, and as long as you're alive with Teo, right? If you've planted the bomb, you just stay in the corner, totally fine. It's like Brimstone. Brimstone has his ultimate,
you
and so
pull
like
up a little map. And that's all you need.
Classic Brimstone is just don't do anything. Just when you hear the tap, you ult, right? Teo has that every round with his salvos.
Missiles,
His rechargeable salvos, rechargeable
Yep.
every 40 seconds. So you do them at the beginning of the round, then you do it again, and then
playing him so much.
It is
Yes.
so nice. It is so nice.
so he has an incredibly high pick rate in the professional scene as well. He is the most picked agent currently.
Are there bans in Valorant yet?
No,
I don't
no,
think they'd ever do that.
no.
Oh, they might.
maybe with more characters.
No.
You think?
Yeah.
You highly underestimate Riot's core
Right.
fundamentals.
If they get a few,
I guess that was a
once they get
glitch.
more characters, maybe 10 more or
Maybe.
whatever, then they can start
How
doing
many
it.
agents are there?
Maybe 2 dozen.
Oh, there's not even 30 yet? It's going to
probably
be a
not.
while. It will
Yeah.
happen, though.
Probably not
Mm-hmm.
even
They're
30.
pretty slow on the character ads.
They don't add,
Yeah,
not
they-
that often.
they might
'Cause they
do
do
like
maps,
once a quarter.
characters,
Yep.
and then
They might do 2 bans and not 10 like we get.
like
in the
one
league.
each team kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Or no,
Or 2 each team.
So 4 total. Yeah.
Yeah. But there are somewhere like
Or they might start doing fearless. If they do fearless on you guys, you're gonna be in for a world of hurt.
Remind us what
What's that?
Fearless is.
I say, what's that?
the former Overwatch bro, great at Winston. Fearless.
Once played, it's deleted from the pool.
Once played.
So you
Well,
play.
you play the same character the whole time.
Yeah, you can only pick one character for the game.
We're talking about ranked play, not competitive play.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but
Okay.
And that's the same
things follow ranked. Okay, so
Competitive play to us is esports.
yeah.
thing. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So fearless would be if there's a best of 3 on 3 different
Sure.
maps.
Then you can.
Yeah, once you play.
Yeah, there's definitely not enough characters for that.
Well, there
No, yeah.
totally is. That would only be 15 out of 24. So there.
But for both teams?
Well,
or
you would
if
get
you-
your own pool, and they would have their.
Gotcha.
Own pool.
Okay.
So you can't
It was-
play Brimstone more than once in your
Gotcha.
3 games.
That makes sense.
series.
You wouldn't be playing Brimstone anyway. But if Omen's gone and then Viper's gone, by the time you're getting to the 5th map in a best of 5 or something, you're going through the dregs right now.
Yeah.
It is not enough.
Ridiculous.
It's not enough right now.
No, you
Maybe not right now, but I'm saying eventually.
yeah, eventually.
something
Yeah,
like that.
right now it would be
Sure.
who can make the best use of a totally
8
random
more
team.
years. Let's
Because-
give it 8
Yeah,
more years.
right. Literally.
Well, coaches when they're drafting against picks and stuff like that, because right now you in competitive play you don't know what the enemy's going to bring out against you, right?
No.
No.
Yeah. See, there's a whole massive part of the game that just isn't there yet because there's no.
That's what
pick.
makes it so interesting.
That's part. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
at
League
the
started
prof-
out like that too. It's called blind pick.
Yeah.
But people realize that it's actually way more interesting to actually draft, have comps and rebuttals
Sure,
against picks. It's,
I actually would love drafting Valorant. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Draft
I
would be
really
cool,
would.
but it'll just take time to
even if bans
increase
aren't
the
there, at
roster.
least drafting one
Drafting
agent
would
at
be
a time
really
Increase the
would be
roster.
really-
So your team or your enemy team basically knows.
as you're getting
You've never
picked.
seen
As you're
you've
going.
never seen a League of Legends pick
no,
before.
I've never
It
played.
would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So you could
7,
basically
8,
pick off
9,
of the
10.
previous
Yep.
picks.
Yep.
Doesn't it go
Gotcha.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah,
Okay.
in League it does. but-
Gotcha.
In a lot of games, it's snake draft.
Yeah, yeah.
Catan, you do that. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anyway,
true.
so yeah, but the nerf to Teo is
Sad.
all right. So they already nerfed him a little
was
bit.
reading
It wasn't enough. He's still absolutely dominant. Here's what's going on. So right now, 8 ult orbs for his ultimate. That goes to 9. His ult wasn't even the biggest thing of his kit. They're just the Riot knows he's doing way too much, and they got to nerf him into the ground. Some people are like, you didn't need this much, but he's dead. Insert Simpsons meme.
Wait,
He's already dead.
Based off of this, do you think you're still gonna play him?
Oh, not that
Off
alone,
of
but
what
there's
you're
more.
reading?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so here the biggest thing is last. The biggest
they
thing.
nerfed every single thing
piece of utility.
Yeah,
It's not that bad.
The last
It's not
one
that
is
bad.
like not huge, but like they increase his ult, right, from 8 to
more
9.
expensive,
They the stealth drone is a nerf, but the stun change is like a slight buff. Typically in
No
a
one uses
gun
the
round,
stuns.
that's true.
Yeah.
In a typical gun round, you're buying both the stealth drone and the stun. Stealth drone goes to 400 credits from 300. That keeps it in line with Sova drone. Stun goes from 300 credits to 200. So that's a slight.
The stun is his like
He shoot-
bounce
Yeah,
trajectory.
exactly.
Yeah.
But his salvos, and this is the big one
That's
because this has
interesting.
changed the meta
Yeah.
entirely. Like with him,
That might
and yeah,
break it.
it will. It will. This is the big thing. Like it goes from because right now, whenever you use the ability, you have 2 salvos that go both explode. Right? You can layer them up on the same area, or you can do like overlapping, or you can do here and here. It goes from having 2 rockets that go out and is rechargeable every 40 seconds to having only 2 charges of 1 rocket and it doesn't recharge. So instead
that's a
of
huge
it
nerf.
is huge. Like if you a lot of uses
What's
you get
the AOE of these rockets, by the way?
Oh, it's
A typical grenade.
Okay.
yeah, but like you get 2 of them and so you get like this whole
cover a wide area.
I mean,
Yeah,
if your
like
tail,
Did not
if your
anymore.
if your
Now you
tail is
only
still
get one.
alive and the enemy has to
So you
defuse the
can't do
spike,
both at the same time.
Right.
You still
you-
can't though. Because if
you-
you throw one right now, you
yeah,
completely lose it. Like,
you
don't get a
can
second
use
one.
both of them at the same time,
Okay, cool.
but you're not going to be able to do them both at the same time in the beginning of the round and in the middle of the round and at the end of the round. Because right now, like with 140 seconds in regulation and then extra planting with
You're-
spike,
You
can almost
you
like
can
4
get
times.
Yeah, exactly.
You can
get
use
3 to
it
4.
as a burst, but you're probably going to want to keep one for end game.
No,
or
you're just
after
not going to
plans.
pick tail.
I mean,
You're not going to pick tail
Sova is
at the
definitely
top
gonna
level.
be probably my higher
Solva's
pick.
back.
Yeah.
Solva's back.
They will eventually
Tail's always been there.
revert some of this but like what the biggest thing that a lot of pros are talking about, or like people in general comparing it with Sky. So like Sky used to be a must pick because she had these awesome
Rechargeable
flashes.
flashes.
Yep, they were rechargeable flashes. She like gets a little trinket out, it's a little bird. She sends the bird, and not only does it flash when she sets it off, but it gives us a different call if somebody does get flashed versus if they don't.
Oh, that's so OP.
It gives you information
does.
and it flash. It still does,
Yeah,
but
it still
it
does.
used to be rechargeable.
Yeah.
You used to be able to send it out and you would get more of them. She was dominant. They nerfed her by making it
Vice.
not rechargeable anymore.
That's
yeah.
like Vice. I say it's the same thing with the flash. You can tell if someone's been flashed or not.
So, yeah. So
But the stun lasts longer, or is just cheaper?
it's just cheaper. But like between stun
get
and
a
drone, it's the
rechargeable
same price.
stun?
No, you only
Stuns
get one.
weren't used much either, really.
They weren't.
It's probably like the
have to be
least
used
used
now.
thing of the kit. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're always using drone in a
Yeah.
round, and you're
You know
usually
what would
using
have probably been a more healthier change because I've never even seen this character play, and that is like this character's dead. Type change.
He was OP.
He was OP. He was
Right, which is
played
fine,
in
which is
almost
fine.
every single professional
Chamber's
match,
still
and he
used after
but-
he was
but-
being neutered.
How about
in-
this? How about this?
That was my
You get
pick
3
before.
rockets instead of 2. Okay.
That's
And-
what I thought it was.
And
gonna
then
be.
no charges or no recharge.
Right.
Same thing.
Still no. Here's the recharge angle. If you can kill,
Sure.
I
I think they
With
should
the
do that
fr-
with 2.
if you can
get
kill,
2
if you
kills.
can kill at least one person, you get 1 more rocket. So now you can have up to 4 for a whole round.
So the reason they're not going to do that is because it's completely changed the landscape of the professional meta.
Yeah.
Like the professional meta
They just don't
became the
wanna have
Teo
more than
meta.
2 of these rockets.
The most
Pretty good rockets.
like the best team G2, and we'll touch on like the event, but G2's who won a so spoiler, not really spoiler, it already happened.
Yeah.
But the America's stage 1 playoffs, G2 wins. They had an incredible lower bracket 1, absolutely banger games. They looked amazing during like regular stage play. Then they lost to Sentinels, went into the lower bracket, and went really close with both 100 Thieves and Evil Geniuses. Those are some incredible maps. People were like, have they lost it? They end up winning the finals against Sentinels. Looking great. Their best player in the grand finals, Trent, is known for being an initiator player. He has played the last X many matches. He has only played Teo.
Yeah.
Like since kickoff, this whole year, he has only played Teo, and they have not needed, like, regardless of the map,
It
regardless
fits on
the
every
rest of
map.
the, it fits on every map because it just, like, you have that Brimstone ult ability light at every post plant.
Is this Valorant's R8 revolver moment where?
Like CS?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Are you guys familiar with that meta?
No.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what that gun is in CS?
I've used it.
The worst gun now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now. It is the
But it
worst
used to
gun
be
to
great.
use. Oh, yeah.
So the clickback time on it, it used to be, I think, shorter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It used to basically be a better.
That used to be shorter,
deal.
but nobody used it for that. It was because the accuracy on the gun was one. It was like one tap, and but the accuracy was almost instant snapback. So you could whack, and pros could basically, they would get Vandal first shot bonus on 4 shots. Like it was crazy. And for like 2 weeks, I think it was the only gun that was even bought. Yeah, no one was buying anything else. Literally in pro play, it was just like, oh yeah, we'll just use this for until they got it. And like you said, now you don't even see the gun.
No, I try using it. It's not even worth it. Yeah,
I thought it looked cool when I downloaded CS when I first got mad at Overwatch and I wanted to play some other stuff.
It was pretty cool because normally you would expect people to want the fastest firing gun or whatever, but like even seeing like them use the normal, that was just so OP. Like it would. Yeah. I think if you didn't have armor, a body shot killed you.
I think it did. Like way.
Yeah, I mean,
first when
it was like, what? How could this even go live?
Right.
Yeah. It was a crazy gun.
That is crazy. But so So
Tejo is the R8 of Valorant.
Yeah,
right?
Tejo's been there.
He's still going to be really good post plan. If you could do one at a time, and if it still pops for as long as
He's still
going to
have utility for initiating a site too.
But then it's like, is he now better than just the Molly agents, right? Or like Sova's got his rechargeable recon.
Fact where you have the map. Like you don't gotta be peeking.
They do
no lineups.
They made the map
anything
slightly
like
smaller,
that.
not a lot smaller, but it goes from 55 meters to 45 meters.
Okay,
so like
that's
slightly smaller.
considerable.
Yeah,
I mean, in some maps, that could be.
You're still going to be able to use that, but then it's like if your plan is to just use that the salvos at the end of the round, right? Then the only thing you're using for most of the round, if you're saving that until the end, is just drone and the stun, right? Mm-hmm. And Sova, he gets his drone, but he has a rechargeable arrow.
Yep.
And he can still use the shock darts for lineups, right? If you're a pro team or even just like a reasonably competent with lineups Sova attacking team, right?
Well,
just go.
You know
just
what he
do
is
the
then? He's the noob Sova. Is what he is.
Pretty much.
Because he's easier to use than Sova.
Yeah, you don't have to know lineups.
Definitely easier to use
as
than
you
Sova.
get better at the game, you just switch to Sova.
Yeah.
That's really what it's going to be.
And it has
Every
most
game
of the
has to
same
have
tech.
characters like that.
Yeah.
Simple to play characters.
Yeah.
So you can focus on
Because
the other parts.
That's what it would be now.
I will still, at my level, not play Sova over Tejo because.
Well, right now
just
Teo's
can't.
busted.
Ease of execution.
No, I mean after the.
But yeah.
Yeah, he's just saying
sure.
for ease of execution.
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
easier for him to like execute, right?
Yep.
'Cause if
His
you're not
drone is
playing at the
easy to
highest level, it's not gonna
understand.
matter.
His grenades are super simple.
Very.
And then I can practice lineups with his stun. So then I can learn how to do lineups like Sova, you know?
There you
It's
go.
training wheels
Yep,
for Sova.
I barely even know lineups. I just kind of throw darts.
So,
Well, you know,
what's
like
the deal with
judging
big technical
angles and,
issue?
you know.
Yeah. So
What's going on?
The big technical issue. So Valorant America's Stage 1 playoffs just wrapped up. In the lead up to Valorant EMEA, so like the European regions play, they have had a slew of tech pauses, more than any other region, and by a long margin. One guy broke the numbers down and posted it. Over the course of this stage of play, a full 7 hours of airtime has been devoted exclusively to the red screen. 7 hours of airtime. One team, Carmine Corps, got
48
like
seconds.
1 hour 40 minutes of like most of it. Like it wasn't evenly split, but like some teams got a whole lot more of it than others. And so there have been like
They're all playing at the same studio?
they were all playing at the same studio.
LAN.
And this ended up, it caused a whole lot of problems. And it exploded when there was a match. It was supposed to be the last game of regulation on, I want to say it was the like 27th or 28th of April. I might be wrong. But they had the game scheduled. It was going to be 2 best of 3s, very important matches. One was very important for seeding. One was important to see who even got into the playoffs. And it was so bad that most of the time for the first map was spent in a tech pause. Like over the course of like the 12 rounds, right? The vast majority of that time was tech pause. They suspended the game. They suspended the match entirely. They said we are going to finish this match at a different time because the tech pauses were so bad. The biggest issues were like constant stuttering. So there was stuttering, but also
So unacceptable.
so unacceptable, and multiple pros spoke up about it.
Not on the broadcast, on the PCs themselves.
The PCs themselves, like people were like rubber banding, and what happened is
Insane.
they go not only these stuttering, but like in order to address the tech pauses earlier in the stage, they decided, okay, these are problems because of our offline setup. Let's put them online so that we address those issues, and that introduced the worst ping issues of all of this extra stuttering. And so then they suspended the match. Instead of a best of 3, there was a single map, and then they said we are going to resume play in the future. So the next game wasn't even played. There were some people who had traveled. Like the most notable was like a guy a Fnatic fan. Fnatic was playing in the second match, who traveled from Australia to watch Fnatic, and then the entire match gets suspended.
If I got a Riot gun buddy, that would be fine.
So it was very bad before they officially revealed what like the remedy would be. People were super pissed. These were important matches. They had to suspend the game of play. Ultimately, they did resolve it by saying any fans who traveled more than 200 kilometers, EMEA, so of course we got kilometers, but they received tickets to the Valorant Champions Grand Final, 2 tickets to Valorant EMEA, Riot merch for up to $300, and a gun buddy. Sucks if you traveled.
Gun buddy and online.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
charm.
from Riot.
It's a charm that goes
and
on
you
your
could
gun.
only get it from Riot and
From
Oh,
Riot.
okay.
Yep,
So it's
yep.
like certain the special
It's
skins
exclusive.
in League.
Yeah, you use it if you have it on your favorite gun.
Yeah.
So that helps. Sucks for the people who traveled 199 kilometers. But
Screw them.
Yeah,
Free trip to France.
screw them.
I think that's where Champs is this
they
year.
probably still have to pay for their travel. though.
I guess.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah,
You
they
can sell
still
those
have to do
tickets
that.
and make a pretty large considerable. I say
True.
big
I
chunk of money
probably
from
would.
that.
Just to stick it to them, I
But
probably would.
I sent you. I don't have the specs here. I sent you a picture
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
what the breakdown for all the PCs were.
Well, and that's what I'm really confused about because, and maybe you're just using the words that you saw in there, but like when I hear like rubber banding, that is not like a hardware
It's
issue.
a network server.
That's a network issue. But then you said they were offline. So,
Well, it was offline for the beginning, but then on that day it was
Right.
On that
were
day
the
it was
pros
online
saying,
play.
Were the pros saying that their FPS was going wild or their ping was going wild?
That most recent day, the ping was the craziest part because that's when they moved to online play. They
Then
tried
they said
to
they're resetting all the computers. It makes me think that people were also whining about like frame rate.
was.
They were. So
well,
like
that's why they
before,
brought in beefier machines the next
Yes,
time
they brought in
played,
beefier machines. But yeah, just to clarify, so like for
More
most of the
monitors,
split,
PCs
they
not
were
optimized.
most
Settings changes cost.
yes. So most of the split the stage was they were doing offline play, but they were trying to keep to Riot was trying to keep to the schedule and thought that if they changed before the end of the stage into online, they would no longer face some of the offline server issues. And on those days, it was even
blows
worse.
my mind that they had offline server issues anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I guess my first question too is you said this is EMEA, so this is fully produced by Riot.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is insane.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Riot does the best, greatest esports
For a
productions.
league.
Period.
It is the same league hardware. So
Who
Durka,
does a better finals than Riot?
No, that's what I'm saying. They don't do that for Valorant.
Oh, you no. Valorant is
Not for
their
Valorant.
Valorant is their
Their
new
redheaded stepchild.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, League is out there drowning. You know,
Yeah.
you know the meme of the kid drowning in the pool, and the
Yeah.
mom's holding the kid. Yeah, Valorant is their big thing. Well, I don't know, actually, maybe not. Regardless, that is pretty crazy. The computers that you sent me are laughably overkill, like stupid.
That's why they should be though. It's the highest level.
But it makes
play
me also
at
it also
the
makes me
biggest
wonder
stage.
if like A, they have no idea what they're doing,
No, I don't think
or
so.
B, they're just like, oh, we're just gonna just get these that way everyone can just shut up.
That it's the latter because
the latter.
because like it wasn't just players who were saying this, but like one of the Carmine Corps. There's like a French guy named Camito.
I
and
know Carmine is crazy.
So
they are insane.
So like Carmine Corps, French organization, really devoted fans. Camito is one of the.
It's an understatement.
It is. Camito is one of the owners, like one of the two founders of Carmine Corps. He live streams every game that Carmine Corps plays. He said that if these tech pauses keep going on, he is going to stop. Like he's going to stop live streaming all of it.
I mean,
multiple other players said there were teams.
Imagine the Packers going to have to play at like Notre Dame's high school football field with high school football, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
exactly.
like it's not going to happen. You should
Right.
have the best conditions possible for your professional players.
Yeah.
And so,
It's
a lot of it's
ridiculous
damage
that
control.
something like this had to happen in the first place
It
for
is.
this to be put
Especially
in place.
because like multiple pros, like Durka and Tens were the ones who were most vocal about it, or at least got the most attention.
Yeah.
Durka and Tens both said this has been going on for years. Durka said they've been bringing these issues up for 3 whole years now, and nothing had changed. And that like Riot's usual answer was, and you got to take it from him, but like Riot's usual answer was like, we don't have these problems in League of Legends,
Yikes.
and that is the answer they were facing. Yes. So he got like very vocal. There were like teams who were getting vocal.
He said that a rioter told him that?
Yes. Yeah. So, and maybe it's just the tech support guy who's like telling it to like not the
Yeah.
but yeah. So EMEA
interesting.
they ended up getting new rigs. They now I'm sure cost much more than they could have if they just did it earlier.
Yeah.
But they were doing
It just
absolute
doesn't make
damage
any
control.
sense. Alienware.
Is that what they got?
These days, Alienware supplies all their stuff, and why
really?
no one hates Alienware more than me. They're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
They're gonna be absolutely overkill. It's Valorant. It's the second easiest game to run behind League of Legends.
Yeah. My best theory would be, and I should look up numbers and stuff, but
I
like
think
my
Rocket League's probably easier to run than Valorant now.
Yeah, you're probably right.
My best theory is just that it's like the
I'm
worst
gonna guess
performing region out of the 4. Like I'm betting, my guess would be Americas gets better viewership than Europe. China gets a lot of viewership, and
Oh, I wonder why.
yeah,
7 hours?
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
7
Yeah.
hours is absurd.
So
Doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the more exciting stuff. G2, they stand
You know
strong.
what
They
Valorant
beat.
player salaries are?
Depends on the team.
What's minimum?
For like Valorant alone, because a lot of these guys have their own personal channels that they make a whole
Yeah.
lot
No,
of money.
I don't care about that. What is Riot's rule? That
I
is
don't.
starting
I
player-
guess
don't
I don't
remember
know.
if they
Probably
had
not
one. I know
like a
Overwatch League had
whole
one.
lot.
like 40K, 50K.
I would say I wouldn't say a
think it was
whole lot because
40.
a lot of these guys have their own personal stuff that they make all their money
Well,
off of.
even League of Legends
Just
players.
org player. Well,
Yeah,
it
too.
depends on the org, I guess. It's not going to be a standard.
Well, there's
Yeah.
a Riot minimum,
Is there?
and then there can be an.
I
org
didn't even know
minimum.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
I thought
Riot
it kind of
minimum for
depended
League
on
players is 400,000 a year,
400,000.
That's insane.
but everyone makes way more than that.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course, of course.
that's
And I just mean even their.
Minimum salaries,
Dollars.
they
50
range
to
from 50 to 67,000.
There's nowhere where it says the Riot stated minimum.
50,000.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that sounds about right.
1,000.
Yeah, 50,000 for Americas, 50,000 pounds for EMEA, and then looks like 67 million wong for
T1's current roster right now could fund the entire Rocket League Championship Series, 256 teams.
Not in Valorant. They just got demolished. They,
Wait, what?
T1 Valorant got
Oh, yeah,
destroyed. They look terrible.
Yeah.
Then they won the last Masters, so they're looking like frauds.
It's fine. They can just say, "Oh, Faker, thank you for carrying our legacy." You know.
They'll need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So again, 100 Thieves and EG looks really good against G2 right now. America's teams, there are going to be 12 teams total at the Masters. All the America's teams are looking absolutely incredible. This is the best set we've ever fielded. Some bummer spots are that a lot of viewership is going down in Americas because the Brazilian teams have been trash. MIBR is looking really
Dude,
good.
Brazil is awesome.
Brazil is like a huge player base.
Don't
but
visit it, but
right-
it's awesome.
Right,
Don't visit
right now, Loud used to be an incredible team,
Very
and
good.
all the
very
Loud games would be like very well watched.
They were very
Recently,
loud, too.
Fury used
true.
to be good at CS never really.
Yeah, this season, both Loud and Furia have been absolute dumpster fires. Neither of them won any games. 2G is a Brazilian team that won Ascension, and they are now.
Is that the Rising one? Like not big teams who could get into the.
Yeah. Ascension was like you won a tier 2 tournament in order to get in. G2 is a previous Ascension team, so it does work sometimes. Like the current best team in America is arguably the world. Yep.
Is Valorant franchise?
Yep. Valorant's a franchise league. But
all esports is going that way, man. There's no way to get away from it.
So sad.
it's a way to guarantee that your team is getting. I mean, like, you get funders, and then like the setups is so that your team played roughly the same amount of games. But both Loud and Furia have been absolutely terrible, and then 2G beat Furia, and that was their only win. And they're the Ascension team, and based on the group draw, and there's their own like controversy about how the group draw was done because they didn't reseed teams after playoffs, and so there were some teams that like were a lower seed going into playoffs, but now look really good now that they're in playoffs. So like Sentinels was like I think 3rd seed going into playoffs, but now they're like the second best team in Americas. They beat G2 the first time, so arguably they're like equivalent, just like coin flip on the day. But
they could win at any time.
They absolutely could. They have nothing to be ashamed about their performance. They lost 1-3, but they looked really good in playoffs. But now, 2G, the Ascension Brazilian team, is in a stage. Their early season performance, absolute trash. They need to do incredibly well for the rest of the season to stay in the league. If they don't make it to playoffs because they're an Ascension team, they get relegated and a new team takes their place.
Yikes.
And based on the group draw, both Sentinels and G2 and Cloud9, who are like good in the regular season, are in their group. So there is almost no way they are making it to playoffs.
Group of death.
Yeah,
it's genuinely the group of death. So 2G's getting destroyed, which is a bummer. But and then there's some other stuff. If you watched the scene, Leviathan's exploding. NRG is finally getting rid of FNS, who's like a long-standing.
NRG still is an org.
Yeah.
Yep, NRG is still in Oregon. Apparently, they have some of the highest salaries in the game, which is crazy given their recent results.
No, they've been around for a while, have they not?
Over 20 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, they've been around for a long time.
Old org.
Their Overwatch League team is absolutely terrific.
Fnatic's a really old org.
Fnatic.
Fnatic's looking good. They lost to Team Heretics this last in Europe, but Fnatic's looking good.
Speaking of Fnatic, I just want to give a shout out. Season 1 world champion League of Legends, Shushe. Fnatic.
He's gonna love that.
He just passed away from cancer.
Right.
36. He's the only world champion to have passed away so far in League.
Wow.
So young.
Yep.
He's younger than I was.
Yep.
Well, I am, but you know what I mean.
Well, last year you were also.
Riot said this week if you play 3 games of Gragas, that was like his favorite champ, and what he has a world skin on, they will gift you the world skin for him.
That's great.
Riot has a big thing with like cancer, so
honor,
they have a lot of like
they
skins
honor the
that have
players
cancer
because
lore behind them.
Tejo was a cancer comp in Valorant.
They did.
So, Potato Aim, I've got a question for you because you and I, we don't watch esports. Right?
Not much.
But you are like extremely good at Valorant.
Played it quite a bit, yeah.
So what would it take for esports to be interesting to watch for you?
Question.
That is a good question. I don't know. Personally, myself, I'm just a player, not really a watcher.
Yeah.
Like I love.
That was what I was expecting you to say.
Yeah, like I'm more of like I
great
just like playing
answer,
the game.
Yeah, right. But
it is fun to watch.
Is
like,
there
I
anything though that would like, if it started to happen, you would actually want to start tuning in?
The storylines just aren't compelling you. I think that's what it is. He's not interested in any of the storylines right now.
I don't mind watching the teams play, like especially when champions. I watch champions.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe it's like big tournaments like that is kind of something that I watch. I'll watch champions, but the other stuff, it's just
because the storyline isn't there for him to watch. Like a regular season game, it's not compelling enough.
Yeah, I'd just rather play the game.
Whereas like for me, the only reason I ever watched League of Legends was Double Left. Ever since he's retired, I haven't watched anything.
Tens was one of my favorite players to watch.
I did love watching Tens.
Sentinels in general. Right. I did watch a lot of their
If I
stuff.
told you that Zekin is like the new Tens,
I have seen quite a
Yeah.
quite a bit of his clips.
He even because he's a
doing
duelist,
very well.
and he played Omen on Icebox, which is what like Tens would do sometimes.
Yeah.
Tens would play Jet, but then on certain maps he'd go over to
Go
the
to
Omen. Yeah,
always
yeah.
Omen.
But yeah, like it's crazy because anytime I am playing Valorant, if I found out that somehow there were a championship game or like an esports game on that I didn't know about, I would immediately
Really?
take the AFK penalty, go watch the game. There's never a time when I'm playing, and part of it is I suck, right? And so it's not like I'm playing and I feel good about my performance, and so I would rather feel good in there. I like want to watch how the game is done well.
Sure.
I always choose watching over playing.
But he also sucks compared to a pro.
Oh
know what
yeah,
I mean?
definitely.
Like,
There is
I
a
get what you-
yeah, but
fine
like
line.
the player base.
I'm saying like the
All right. The
But
gap.
I think that's
There's a huge gap.
Yeah, I think that's important for you, and I think that's totally fine. But you have a lot of people that even challenger players in league, which play with pros all day, or
Sure. And I play like
or
I'll
Radiant
play
players, like they would
with
never watch
my-
pro play either because they're like,
No.
I just want to play the
Who do
game.
you play with?
I'll play with my cousin Menace. He's been
Oh,
around
yeah,
to
the-
some
yeah.
of these. I used to queue up with him when I hit Immortal a lot, and he's up in Radiant.
Yeah.
And yeah, he basically coaches me, and then I also just watch my teammates and stuff and what they do. So I don't necessarily need to watch pro play
Because you're kind of
in that aspect, like
yeah.
to see how it's done well. I see it in a lot of my games,
Right.
but yeah, otherwise I'd just rather play it.
Yeah.
Right.
I love
Right.
playing it. Yeah.
It's hard for me to watch regular season games, and not want to play the game.
Right.
Like 'cause
Yeah.
I get
Makes
if
me
there's
more.
like
I want to play.
if there's like one tech pause, if there happened, I'm not finishing that game. I'm just gonna go play it. You know, it's like
And that's one thing with esports versus traditional sports too. Two things actually.
so easy to just play it.
It's so easy to play it, right?
Yeah.
Because like if I'm watching the Packers play, and I get the inkling to want to play football, it's just like you know how much effort I have to put in
Yeah.
to get a lot of guys on the
Yeah.
field to play some flag football, even. You
Or
know?
just watch it. you know.
Right.
You
Whereas
can't just queue up.
Valorant, I'm just like, well, I could go solo, but it's pretty easy for me to just be like get some guys on
Yeah,
Discord,
yeah.
you know, and queue up on that. But it's also like the length without it being social for me, I think. Because like a Packer game, I'll watch a Packer game with Jenny, you know, and we're vibing, we're chilling, you know, we don't have to watch it the whole time, but we're still like sharing moments together and stuff. Like if I'm going to watch a Valorant Pro, you know, or pro play, it's just like I'm probably going to be by myself. And I'm just like, and
I usually
and then
am.
locking that in for 3 hours solo just on the same content.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
no.
Co-streamers help a little bit, right?
Yes,
Because you
right.
get the
And I-
parasocial thing.
Right. And then
Yeah.
you got the chat too.
Yep.
Where you kind of
Yep.
like vibing
Yeah.
with the live chat and stuff.
I
but-
love watching chat when something big happens.
Yeah,
Tarek does
right.
well at that.
Yeah.
With
Jared does
Valorant,
really well
Tarek
with that.
does really
That's
well
probably
with that.
why the co-streams are so popular.
I like watching
Absolutely.
his.
because
I
of
say
that.
like Tarek's, yeah. His live reactions to everything. Tens now too.
Yep.
He's starting to do that.
Unless Brennan's sideshow or casting, I always go to a co-stream.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's sideshow's co-stream. Those are my favorite casters. But like I just if I know that there's somebody else going on, it just like it feels
I couldn't
different. It
watch
feels
it.
more. Yeah.
I couldn't watch a co-stream for the grand finals of the thing that I'm watching. I would always have to watch.
But still, if I was watching grand finals, I would want to do it as a group.
yeah,
I
as a
would too.
group,
Yeah.
like we always watch Worlds here at the
Yeah,
arcade.
right,
and
for League, yeah.
People come up from Milwaukee and stuff, and that is some of the coolest energy, man.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I would love to do
gosh.
that if we could actually get people to watch the Valorant grand
I would
final.
do that. I would
yeah,
do that.
yeah.
If
sure.
it's at a reasonable time.
Yeah,
Not
I think
like
so.
3 in the
It's in
morning or
France,
Yeah.
who knows? That's,
Yeah,
it's
that's
in
true.
France
The
this
last
year.
World's finals, it didn't even start here until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Right.
We all
So
left
it's
around
just like,
6:30 in
why-
the morning.
Why would
Yeah.
I
It was
want to
brutal.
watch that?
Yeah, Masters Bangkok sucked. I woke up at like 4
I
a.m. for
bet.
that stuff.
Yeah.
But now Masters Toronto, that's easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's-
Easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of content, you said you had a TikTok. What kind of content are you trying to create?
And why is it
Just-
foot pics? I'm kidding. Okay.
I just post my gameplay really.
Oh,
I
okay.
say if someone likes my
Nice.
gameplay, I have my tags and my stuff, and I
Your
stream.
wags tags?
It's not wags right now. It's,
But it could be.
Oh God.
All right. But yeah, no, I just post it and then I stream basically every day.
Oh, you stream?
So,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
On TikTok or Twitch?
Both.
Or both?
Yeah, so I'll
Nice.
do Streamlabs and just click of a button. I'm on both of them. So
That's
it's
cool.
nice.
Nice. Are you looking like to eventually like start monetizing that, or are you doing that to connect with people?
My TikTok wallet is $5.76 in it so far.
All right.
I got to be your number one donator on Twitch. I think so.
I don't have.
You never been able to cash out?
No,
on
I don't.
Twitch?
I can't monetize off of Twitch yet because I'm not.
Really?
I'm not an affiliate.
Yeah. You
Oh,
I need like
Yeah, Jeff
point-
Bezos got your money.
0.4 more
I thought I did to him.
concurrent viewers to be an affiliate. You
Oh,
need
dang,
like,
you're like right there.
yeah, so you need like 3, and then a couple other ones already
Yeah.
met requirements. But yeah, you need 3 average viewers on your stream.
How about
For-
TikTok? Do you get more viewers on TikTok then for sure?
Yeah, but I mean, like For You pages, you kind of swipe.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll say like hundreds. I've had thousands, like total viewers.
Oh,
but
yeah.
who
But you don't know
knows
how
how
long
long
they're
they're
staying.
actually staying watching.
They don't tell you the
It'll
average
tell you like your
viewers?
top like 10, 20 people. And some of them, it'll be like 2 hours, like my whole stream. Some of them 30 minutes, 20 minutes,
Dang, that's
but-
awesome.
Yeah. Have you thought about using a shtick to get more people?
Yeah.
Like
but
face paint or like
not even
hats?
Or
Using a-
fire.
Using a what?
A shtick.
Fire.
A shtick. Just like a theme,
your
a thing.
Like, it's
Yeah.
like.
Oh,
Like you
just
talk in a southern accent
Sure.
today.
Oh my god.
no,
Yeah,
I guess
or-
I haven't.
Yeah, speaking
Shirtless.
different languages every time.
You could get one of those VTuber skins as a
Yeah,
potato. You just got a
yeah.
big potato head. you
Could.
know?
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Or you could.
People like cats, don't they?
They do like cats.
My cat- my
cams
cat-
are very popular.
I know my cat only lays like I play like vertical like this. My cat only lays on my arm like this.
No
like
way.
he'll run up, he'll go, he'll just lay right
Play
here.
while you're gaming.
Yeah, while I'm gaming, I'll have
Does your
to.
cat
You
have
gotta
a
get
gamer
cat
tag?
Cam.
No, it does not.
You know what it should
that's
be?
One of my
Jacob
buddies
does
said.
that.
It should be
Office.
tail wags.
He has a
Tail
cat
wags?
cam.
Tail
When they're
wags.
laying
No,
down.
I
A lot
like
of
that.
CFT players
You know, I might have
like
to. Yeah,
dogs.
because
Yeah.
my buddy told me that
yeah.
recently to get a little
My
cat
guy has a
cam.
bunny.
Yeah,
Throw it
yeah.
on the
Oh,
side of the
absolutely.
desk. I might
Just
have
watch
to.
his bunny like leap
Yeah.
around this little playpen.
Yeah, everyone
fun.
whenever they see my cat, is that a cat?
Yeah,
Is that a
yeah.
cat?
People love animals.
Yeah, people love animals.
Absolutely. If I had a
For
guinea
sure.
cam, I would
Oh.
almost. I'd be able to stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna have to wrap this up because I'm getting hungry and it's getting late.
Well, it is
that-
8:15
oh my
already.
You know what I'm hungry for is some Valorant competitive when I get home.
Yes,
You
me
still
too.
got time for that?
Oh, absolutely.
Lit.
Oh,
How late do you guys stay up?
Tonight I've got.
How long do you need us to?
I gotta find if I have an alt account to play. I didn't say that out loud. All right? I don't need to get mad.
Yeah. yeah.
Right,
No.
don't care.
Yeah, that is.
They're
that is true.
encouraging it.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I'll have to see.
You
if
know
I
what?
can
I'd be
find an account.
thrilled if you got banned because that would mean Riot's watching. I would be pumped.
Come on,
Yes.
Ryan.
sort of
Pop
Riot.
on in. We love talking about your crappy ass game.
careful. Riot Zed is not someone you want to mess with.
I have no limit to how
is.
brown my nose can be, Riot. If you need me to wear a Saudi headscarf, I'm there.
Christ.
Potato Aim, Aaron. Where can people find you?
Just switch the Twitch tag is now bobatoboy.
Okay.
Oh,
It
that's
was
right.
Wags, but I switched it to bobatoboy because Potato M was taken.
Damn.
And bobatoboy is like my secondary name. Yeah, BOBATOBOY.
With B's where the P's would be.
With B's were the
Potato.
yep, Bobato boy.
Nice.
Ha! It's upside down. Kill me.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. He ruined the mood.
But yeah, TikTok same thing. That one might be Potato Aim. TikTok might be Potato Aim, but Twitch is Bobato boy.
We can put it in the.
We'll get
the-
links in the description.
Yeah,
Yeah,
links in the
I'd
description.
say,
You owe
Oh,
us money for that.
my last thing, my bracket didn't make it in the description last time, but I'm kind of glad because
Yeah,
it sucked.
'cause
It was
you didn't
absolutely
send
terrible. Yeah, I
anything
didn't
to
send it.
me,
Yeah, I
so-
didn't. It was terrible. I'm sorry.
And I was gonna message him, but I'm like, but then I can't finish editing this.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
screw him.
Yeah, that's fair. It was terrible. I bet on Cloud9 making it, and that was bad.
Yeah, never bet on playoffs Cloud9.
Yeah, absolutely never.
Yikes.
It's a thing. All right, everyone. It's been real. Go pet your local cat.
Hey.
Pet your local cat. Deuces.
Deuces.